Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Look at the Escapists. This is a game when I was away at PAX, which just happened recently, as you can probably tell by the kind of scraggly tone of my voice, if that can be used in that way. Mathis was staying with us. We were all staying together, and he kept saying, dude, you gotta play this game, the Escapists. I'm trying to emphasize the S on the end to mention that I am not playing the internet magazine. But yes, he's like, you gotta play the Escapists, you gotta play it, and then I'm playing it. I picked it up on Steam for 10 bucks. This is not something I got through a review copy. It's published by Team 17, who are definitely most well known for the Worms series, but they're getting into kind of micro-publishing indie stuff, which is cool, and it's developed by Moldy Tooth Studios. So what's up with the Escapists now that I've got probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours into it? I'll just show you what's going on. This is... How could I not be Bald Eagle? Let's be honest here. There's only one prison in the game. It's in Steam Early Access right now. Everything you're seeing is a work in progress. It's not representative necessarily of the final project. Or final product, I should say. There's only one prison in, First Peak Correctional. Before we get in, I'll just do a quick explanation. It's basically the opposite of Prison Architect, except framed as a little bit of like a survival/crafting game. I wouldn't necessarily call this like a survival game like Minecraft, but there are crafting elements and you're kind of doing the same thing. There's like a day-night cycle, there's duties you have to do in order to survive, but it's very sandboxy, and your goal is to escape from prison, and the way you do this is kind of up to you, but we'll get started here. I've got some positive things to say about the game, I've got some negative things to say about the game, but first we've got to go through the actual description of what the heck is happening. Dear Bald Eagle, welcome to prison. First Peak Correctional is a brand new state-of-the-art facility designed with your discomfort in mind. All of our staff are highly trained to make sure your stay here is a truly unpleasant one. You've got a long sentence ahead, so make yourself at home and don't even think about escaping. Warden Jim Sterling. Wait a minute. And I thought the name was just an accidental reference. I didn't realize that maybe that's just I think the names are randomly generated or procedurally generated from a pool. That's funny. Anyway, Jim Sterling, if you're not aware, is a games journalism personality who is, well, I wouldn't necessarily say he works for the Escapist, but he publishes some content on there. Alright, so you're going to see my mouse pointer on the screen. Disregard that. The way that this works is that the day is broken up into several different phases. I'm controlling one prisoner here, Bald Eagle, and one of these phases is roll call. You have to be at roll call so that the guards, you know, see you and they take your attendance and etc., etc. While we're here, why don't I take the opportunity to talk about some stuff. Top left of the screen is where the vast majority of our important information lies. We have $10, 15 health, 0% guard heat, and 0% fatigue. So guard heat will go up as we do certain things. Like if we're caught in an area we shouldn't be in, like maybe it's mealtime but we're in the gym, that might give us 10%. If we punch some dude in the face, that might go up to, you know, 90% or something like that. Now we have breakfast. I'm just going to come in here, and breakfast brings your fatigue down. Performing manual tasks, as you can see, raises your fatigue, so it makes sense for us to do some manual tasks before we eat breakfast, just so we can actually get some benefit out of it, because we had 0% fatigue. Anyway, yes, my fatigue is going up as I run here. I'll show you in just a second what this actually benefits. Occasionally you'll see like plus SPD come out of the treadmill. That's plus speed, which means that our speed stat has improved. So we're going to sit down quickly, watch our fatigue drop down very low there, and I'll show you our profile now, which pauses the game for a second. So again, we're Bald Eagle. We have two kind of inventory slots. We have 6 inventory slots, but we have 2 kind of equip slots. One is our outfit, which we could replace with maybe a guard outfit, and one is our weapon slot. Which we could replace with some kind of weapon if we could find one. Right now we don't have one, but we could craft some in the future depending on our stats. We only have 3 stats: strength, speed, and intelligence. Each one of those starts at 29 out of 100, I believe, and you have to hit certain thresholds in order to be able to use certain items or do certain jobs. Like we are gonna start up a new job soon. I gotta get my tray out. I'll just walk outside. And you see I'm getting yelled at because it's breakfast time, and I was not in the breakfast room. But anyway, we have jobs that we have to do about 4 hours a day. We have a job that we have to do, and for me, when you start, that's going to be laundry. So you can see our laundry kind of meter getting filled up there, our inventory on the side, and basically this is manual labor. So we're just going to do the wash. It's very quick. I think we have to do like 9 or 8 batches of laundry here, and after that's done, our job quota is done, and then we can go explore or read, buff our stats, etc., etc. Now what's our overall goal? Our overall goal, of course, is to actually escape from this godforsaken prison. You might have seen me stand on that desk there. I did that on purpose. By the way, this, as you might expect, is probably the easiest way to get ourselves a guard uniform, but we can't actually just walk out with it, because all of these metal detectors that you see, they're not just metal detectors. They actually scan for all, like, illegal and illicit material. So We don't want to just walk out with a guard uniform, or we'll get beaten up. And if our health runs out, we basically get thrown in the infirmary, and all illegal items are taken away from us anyway. So our job quota is done now. So I'm just gonna. Normally, I would like. In fact, we will do this. Let me put like a load of laundry in, so that tomorrow we can hit our job quota faster. And it's only 11:44 if you look down in the bottom left, which means that I have about 3 hours, I think, before our next situation where I can do whatever I want. So here, favor request. These are quests that basically the other inmates will give us. Part of the game is building up, you know, favor with the other inmates so that they'll join you and help you out when it comes to an escape attempt. You can do an escape attempt multiple ways, I think, but I haven't really gotten that far into the game. It takes a few days to actually, you know, a few in-game days to get to the point where you'd be doing something like that. So Stewart says, Liam has been snitching on me to the guards. Perhaps a beating will shut his mouth. You up to the task? No, because I am not nearly strong enough to beat somebody up yet. So, let's buff up our intelligence a little bit. This is where my main complaint with the game comes to pass. I really like the idea of a sandbox game where you're trying to escape from prison. I think it's a super cool concept, and there are times when I'm like completing a quest that I really think it's well executed in this game. That being said, there's still something super grindy about it. You know, we start out, excuse me, you just punched me? I got knocked out there. Probably someone else had a quest to beat me. But we're just gonna go back and keep reading to raise our intelligence a little bit. So that guy must not like me. Let's see if there's another quest here that we can take if that guy's not, oh, he's gonna go outside. Don't go outside. Our speed is so low, it's hard to catch him. First, we have to go to roll call. But yeah, it's unfortunately just a little grindy the way you buff your stats, and you have to buff your stats now. Like, one of the strategies I've heard for actually being able to get out of the prison. Let's see what this quest is. Ronald's trying to muscle. He's due for a beating. I can't beat anybody up right now. Get the guard's attention during the next morning roll call so I can do my thing. I can do that. The maggots to do a cell shakedown are as follows, Mike and Ronald. Cell shakedowns are basically like if you have anything illegal, they'll search your desk. So I'm going to build up my speed as fast as I can because this will help us get away. But this is another example of how I think the stat grinding is a little bit too grindy. Basically, it's like playing at the gym. I apologize if you can hear that tapping in the background. That's how you get that meter built up to actually get some speed. But yeah, the strategies that I've heard for actually like getting success in the game, it's a free period. I'm just going to go read a little bit, I suppose, but is buff your intelligence up super high. You gotta be at like 70 or 80 or something like that, and when you get to 70 or 80, then you can actually take a job in the metalworking department, which allows you to get access to a lot of materials that you can use to plan your escape. You know, a lot of things that you can use to craft either weapons or, well, our fatigue is not in a good place here, weapons or like escape devices, stuff like that. I'm gonna go shower to get my fatigue down. But the actual like stat building is really tedious. As much as I've enjoyed parts of the game so far, that is the major impact, or the major problem with the way things are right now, is that it's just super grindy. There's only 3 stats. 2 of them, strength and speed, which you can probably guess are the bench pressing machines and the treadmills here. The bench pressing machines, clearly I'm a gym rat. But anyway, they just require you mashing Q and E in like alternating ways in order to... let's just work out a little here. In order to build up a meter, I'll show you how it works the other way as well, like on the benches if you so choose. But the other one, reading, to get your intelligence up, basically you just click on the bookcase whenever the meter fills up, and then, you know, every time you click on the bookcase, you get 1 extra bit of intelligence. It's a little bit too not exciting in the moment-to-moment gameplay to really incentivize it. Now, there's cool, like, a higher order ideas here, you know, the ability of kind of, like, blending in plain sight. Let's see what his quest is. Seems Ronald's acts of friendship lately were just a cover to get his hands on my bottle of sleeping pills. Fancy getting it back from me? Sure, I'll try to get sleeping pills for you. We're gonna keep working out just because, I mean, we'll get in trouble with the guards if they find us. It's a pretty lackadaisical prison with respect to its security, though. We want to have our fatigue high so that when we actually eat dinner, it gives us some kind of benefit. But yeah, like the higher order ideas, the fact that there's like... You know, you want to play the long con so you can get a good job, earn the guard's trust, and then, you know, steal... This guy's gonna yell at me, I think, yeah. Steal useful materials that will help you out to actually aid in your escape. That is super cool. The unfortunate part, let's just eat dinner quickly. I didn't give myself very much time. My fatigue might not go down to 0, unfortunately, but it'll go down a little bit. And the shower, which I think comes next, or no, workout comes next. The showers that come after that will break it down a little bit as well. But anyway... Those higher order ideas are super cool and really intriguing, but the moment-to-moment gameplay, which largely consists, I mean like 30%, 40% of the game consists of me just standing on an exercise machine pressing Q and E. It gets a little old. I think there's cool ideas at work here, and eventually maybe this will be a little bit more exciting, because every game requires you to do the same task over and over. That's not my problem with it. You know, every game is repetitive, is something that I've thought to myself a few times. I'm not going to put myself in the spot and actually come up with examples, but almost every game, let's put it out there, is repetitive in that you're doing the same thing over and over. It's just a matter about whether or not that thing that's repetitive is actually fun, or if it loses its luster super quickly. And pressing Q and E or just clicking on a bookcase causes you to, causes it to lose its luster pretty quickly. Our speed is good though now. We're at 53. We could start something in the shower if we wanted to. We could beat somebody up. Jesse's plotting something. Go knock him down and remind him who's in charge. No, thank you. Liam, they extorted a game set off me. Thing is, I want it back. How about it? Sure. So we're looking for, if we look at our journal, at morning roll call, we're going to cause a distraction. We want to get... Ronald has been stealing a bunch of stuff. He's been stealing sleeping pills and a game set. So let's bounce out of the shower, actually, and see if maybe I could steal something from Ronald's bunk. So we gotta figure out where Ronald actually is here. There's a little bit of, like, very, very light stealth. Like, they don't want me to be here, so my heat will go up. But I can also pretty much just go search his desk if I want to. There's the game set right there. So that automatically gave me 22 bucks because I completed the quest. And what else am I looking for? There's sleeping pills. This is medicine, not sleeping pills. You know, we can search other inmates' desks and get crafting items as well. But usually I just search them for quest items. Sock is actually really good, because if we get sock and then a bar of soap, we can actually craft a fairly useful weapon here. So let's take that, and then, what is it, free time now. So let's quickly look at our crafting menu. I think if I put soap on and then a sock and craft, I can make a sock mace, which we can then actually equip as a weapon. Now, this will be taken from me in the event of my capture or, like, incapacitation by the guards. So that kind of stuff, I can't stress enough, is really, really freaking cool, and I can totally understand how, like, Mathis was like, you gotta check this out. This game, you know, that tasks you with getting away from the prison is really neat. I get that, but at the same time, I find myself not super enthusiastic about, you know, grinding our stats up as high as possible. I understand the need for there to be a stat system, but in a way I almost wish it worked on something different, like maybe a guard favor system. Like, instead of having to grind intelligence to the point where they'd let you work in the metal working facility, if you just had to, like, basically be good enough with the guards, like be in good enough with them that they would recommend you for the position or something like that. I think that would be kind of cool. I'm gonna shower a little. Oh, you know, there's more food here, so I can quickly eat maybe, and can I? No, I can't. You can only eat at dinner time. I thought since there was one extra piece of food down there I could do it, but we'll shower up a little bit here. That will bring our fatigue down, and we're gonna get to sleep in like an hour and a half, so I might as well just you know, maybe go down to 40% or something like that, and we should be good. Building up our strength is good, because we're going to be using our sock mace momentarily. But in addition to that, we can get more HP, I think, as a result of that. So days typically last about 10 or 15 minutes, like pretty much the length of this video, as you can see, and then they roll over. I almost wish there was a little bit more of a dialogue system or something going on, like a little bit more of a choice system as well. I get that that's not really what this game's about, but it makes me kind of, you know, hunger for a prison escape game that is maybe a little bit deeper in its kind of mechanics. That being said, the Escapist is still early access, and it's a super cool concept. It just does get a little bit tedious, which, you know, the obvious defense to that is, well, dude, prison's boring, man. That's the thing. I should mention, by the way, that we'll come across some people here, like this gentleman here, Jesse, who will actually have things for sale. So we could buy a screwdriver off of him, and we could use that maybe to unscrew the vents above our, it's too expensive for us right now, but unscrew the vents above our cell, or we could buy a wire. We can use that in crafting. The way that we really do crafting is we buy crafting notes, or we find crafting notes. Anyone with that, like, gold sack over their head is selling something. Yeah, so we buy crafting notes, and then we see what we need in order to actually be able to use those. So he's got a sock mace. He's got some sleeping... Oh, he's got some medicine, not sleeping pills. Anyway, we could also give him some money if we wanted to, and this would cause, like, increased favor, which would eventually allow us to maybe form a posse or something like that. Should probably not stand right next to the guards, huh? What's your quest? Pretty sure Officer Martin fancies me. Go break his face. No, I'm not gonna fight the guards now. The baton is a substantially better weapon than my sock mace is. Alright, the following scum are due a cell toss. Chris and Shelby. Remember, I'm Bald Eagle. Distract the guards of the next workout so I can reward him. I can do that. Distracting guards is something I can do. How about you, Edgar? What do you have? Find me a guard outfit, I'll make it worth your while. Even though I work in the laundry room, I think that's a little too risky. So let's go back to our cell. And we don't really have anything to deposit in here. But we can stand on our desk. Usually. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get to work. And you can see vents here. We can take those vents out, and we can hide stuff up here so that during a shakedown, we actually won't be having our illegal items discovered, which is pretty important. We'll just sleep till morning. The vents are also a good way to get from room to room inside of the prison, but I haven't really gotten that far because, truth be told, the real tragedy of my experience with this game so far is that I get worn down. Do I have a... Am I supposed to do something here? Distraction for Taylor at morning roll call. Yes, I am. Alright, so let's go into combat mode, which is just via the spacebar here. Make sure you're aggressive. And we're going to punch Mike in the back of the head. There we go. And then we're going to run away. And amazingly, we don't have that much heat. But if Mike punches us, I think the guards will beat him up and then we can take all of his shit. Like, if I get him to punch me near the guards... Yeah, there they go! Classic. Alright, let's see what he's got. He's got a sock, a plastic fork, and an inmate outfit. That's not very good. Move along, bald eagle. Where am I going? When you get really high heat from the guards, it is difficult to bring it down. But we got our 22 bucks for breaking that dude's face, so that's what we needed. Or for distracting the guards. I didn't even need to knock him out. He brought that on himself. Okay, so nothing really available from the shops here that I really want. And you know what? I'm gonna go work out a little bit. I think having better speed is important here. But pretty much we'll probably stop after this day, because you'll see that things are a little samey. But yeah, the tragedy is that the long-term gameplay seems super cool. Please don't yell at me. Thank you. The long-term gameplay seems super cool, the idea of like formulating an escape plan and actually getting out. It's just the moment-to-moment gameplay is a little tedious, and it kind of takes away my excitement, or my potential excitement, for those long-term goals. But if that can be fixed, or at least alleviated in some way, if they can make the mini-games, basically, which is what they are, for the exercise and stuff, if they can make those a little stronger and a little bit more exciting, then I could definitely see this being like a really fun sandbox game. The potential is there. And it's not even that far away right now. Like, remember, I put some clothes in here earlier to make my next day easier. There is the capability to hide, or maybe not. I thought there was like a vent above the laundry room. Maybe I've just been watching too much Breaking Bad. Anyway, yeah, they're not that far away. Like, when Mathis says, like, you gotta try this game, I really like it, I believe that. I have no reason not to believe that, but I do believe that wholeheartedly. It's just not there for me yet. And sandbox games, they have a little bit of an uphill battle with me to begin with because, you know, I've played so many of them. Not even to say that my standards are higher, but just my threshold for enjoyment with the genre has gone down a little bit. But if you are into sandbox games, you might totally be into the game in its current state, and that is totally cool. But for other people who maybe are on the fence, I would recommend waiting a little bit. I'm going to leave those two in there, obviously. Guards still not huge fans of me right now. What's up with you, Micah? If you can divert the guards... Attention, next morning roll call, I can dish out some justice using this screwdriver. Okay, that seems acceptable. I am actually, like, super rich right now in prison inmate terms. 110 bucks, we can buy pretty much anything that's for sale. All of those quests pretty much fall into a few different categories, by the way. There's either beat up X person, or distract the guards, or somebody stole something from me, get it back. And the way you get it back is either by searching their room, or sometimes you beat them up and they have it on their person or something like that. So, you know, not all of those quests are suitable to be done at all times. Like, for example, breaking a guard's face is probably not something that you want to tackle when you only have a sock with a mace, or a sock with a soap bar in it, right? Like, that's not going to do you any favors. And there's almost like a rudimentary kind of like party and favor system going on here that I haven't really experienced all that much. It is worth noting that, again, I've played an hour and a half to 2 hours of this, and I still have not seen much of the higher level escape-type gameplay, just because it is, in my opinion, kind of a grind to get through this earlier stuff, which is a little disappointing. There is a little bit of light stealth, I mentioned that earlier, but for real, we can, like, if we can lure, like, somebody... it's midday roll call, do I have anything to do here? No. Distraction for Taylor at workout, I can do that. But if we have, like, someone that we want to beat up, if we can kind of like catch them alone, we can not get any heat for it, like if we beat them up and the guards don't see. So there is a little bit of that going on, but not very much. There's a quest here somewhere. There we go. Get the guards' attention next dinner. Alright. Distract the guards. At the next midday roll call, distract the guards while I slip away. Alright, are we going to do that right now? Guess we're going to try to do that right now. Just do it back here where the guards aren't looking. and then run away. Oh, my heat is pretty high. Why are they running after me instead of that other guy, though? You can kind of, like, run away and your heat will go down a little bit. Oh, they're fighting that guy now. You can, like, if you can just kite them for a while, the heat will go down, which obviously is not that realistic. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Here, our heat has gone up pretty high, as you can tell. And at 95, they're pretty much just going to stun me until I have to go back into the infirmary, unfortunately. But if I can just keep it going, this is why I got that speed up as high as it could possibly go if I just run around in a circle long enough. Oh, there's the warden. We could beat him up here, maybe. Run around in a circle long enough, maybe we can get our heat down and actually escape. Obviously, this is bad for my fatigue and business. Oh, they lost attention on me. That's amazing, actually. It's a little bit exploitable, but I think that's okay. What's our intelligence at now? 52. So with 52 intelligence, we can come to our job board here and see if maybe there's a vacancy. So there's a vacancy in the metal shop. I'll apply, but you need 70 intellect. It's possible that we might be able to get that up as soon as possible. My HP's not in a great position, but and the guards don't like me very much. And the guards not liking me actually is a major problem, believe it or not, because that will prevent me from getting access to a job. So there is a little bit of a deeper system here. I can't lie, the game is fun. It's one step away from having that, like, addictive nature that would really allow you to lose hours and hours into it. And that one step is really making the stuff that isn't completing a quest or, like, doing cool objectives, tedious. And they are tedious right now. So our fatigue's going high. That's okay. It's going to be a little bit over 100. Do we have dinner at 4? We do. So I'm going to eat that super quickly. I think I'm supposed to cause a disturbance here, but I'm going to lay low for a little bit. I just want to get my intelligence high enough that I can apply for that metal shop vacancy. So yeah, I mean, actually, over the course of this video, I think I've come around to the game a little bit more. You do, you know, you come into encountering that. I don't know why I phrase that sentence in that really incredibly awkward way, but you encounter situations that make you think, like, this prison would never work in real life. Like, for example, it's dinner time and I'm just in the library by myself and the dude saw me and he's not like, hey, we're gonna, like, write you up or anything like that. He's just like, not that I've ever been to prison and know how that works, but he's just like, okay, cool, dude. Like, go read, but don't do it again. If I catch you doing it again, that'll be a bad thing. Similarly, like, I should be exercising right now, but I'm not in there. I'm just hanging out in the library instead, building up my stats so I can go to work in the metal shop. We needed 70? Now, I think the guards still hate me. So I probably can't even apply for the job yet, but we'll try at least. The cheek of applying for a job while you're in bad standing with the guards. Learn to respect the basic rules of our fine prison and try again later. Yeah, my bad. So let's just work out a little bit here. I guess we'll play 2 days. And this is the kind of game where I could see myself doing a series of it if it was a little bit more exciting in the moment-to-moment gameplay. But anyway, overall my impressions on the game are relatively positive, with the asterisk that I'm basing a lot of my favor for the game on the fact that there is a lot of potential here. As of right now, it's not totally there, but I could see it getting there in the future. And it's reasonably fun enough in its own right now that you could probably get $10 worth of enjoyment out of it if you could sink a few hours into it. And it's not that hard to sink a few hours into it, just even figuring out the basics, because there's not really a good tutorial. I had to actually look up a Steam guide that helped me get started, but it's very interesting, and that's more than you can say for a lot of games on Steam, and I think it's got a cool premise. It's just missing a little something to take it to the next level. Hopefully its time in early access will give it a chance at that. I'm trying to get a quest here or something. I guess you can't get a quest while you're showering, which is weird. Some of my best thoughts come to me when I'm in the shower. Alright, evening free time. We're at 37% with the guards. Let's see if I can apply for that metal shop vacancy, because if it's not open, or if I can't get it now, I might not be able to get it tomorrow. Hey, there we go. I've stamped your application as approved. Welcome to Prison Industries. Complete your quota and you'll get paid. Fail to meet it and consider yourself fired. I think this pays a little bit more. It requires more intelligence, so I'm assuming it pays a little bit more. What's our, Alright, we gotta build up strength more than anything else. And yeah, I mean, as you can see, this is kind of where my knowledge of the game falls apart a little bit. Even though it's called the Escapists, 2 days deep, aka about 25 minutes, half an hour, I'm still pretty much just grinding out reps on the bench press machine and laying the groundwork. In a way, I almost wish it moved a little bit faster, but if there's a little bit of a long con thing going on in here, I can understand it. I wonder if we go and actually rest in the infirmary, if that'll bring my health up, because I don't think 24 is my max HP. The infirmary is normally where you go when you get KO'd by a guard, which surprisingly hasn't really happened to me all that much. In this video, it happens to me all the time when I'm playing off camera, or when I've played off camera. I apologize for the tapping, but you know, that's just the way it is. Let's get out of here. 27 health is pretty good. 134 bucks is crazy. This is the visitation area. We can't climb on top of any of that. The toilets are actually functional. We could use them to like flush. Does this heal us? Or just lower our, yeah, just lowers our fatigue. Yeah, the toilets, you can flush like contraband down them if a guard is chasing you down or something like that. So we might take our last few, we might take our last few minutes of the day to like search other people's desks and just see if there's anything valuable in there. A paperclip, who knows, that could be useful. We could make another sock mace if we wanted to. Socks are actually, I wouldn't say they're super rare, but they're not extremely common either. So we can just steal things from our other inmates. Here's a crafting note. Okay, what is the crafting note for? Super sock mace. You need a battery and a sock. Okay, so that's even better. Battery is not that hard to come by. This is my desk. We should hide contraband in our desk as long as we're not being shaken down. There's another crafting note here. What's this one? Oh, we used it without looking at it because I had a menu screen open. Early access. It's a plunger. You can use that as a weapon, but I've never had to, thankfully. Wouldn't want to really be the guy defending myself with a plunger. I think that would probably lead to some disaster. Bottle of medicine, I can see how that would be useful. I think if we get a razor blade and a toothbrush, we can create like a toothbrush shiv or something like that. Got maybe one more desk search in us. I'm really looking out for a battery, because if we can get this battery, super sock mace would be awesome. I'll take the tub of talcum powder and the bar of chocolate. We can just give the bar of chocolate to somebody to improve their favor for us. So let's see, like Mike, for example. Let's go over to motherfucker Mike over here. He's got a sock mace of his own. Let's give him a chocolate bar, dude. How's life? He likes us a little bit more now as a result. Probably, at least. You've got a step ladder. I can't imagine that could be useless. Seems really useful to actually help you get into the vents, but... Any quests available for me? I'm on the lookout for a sheet of metal. Yeah, I can get you a sheet of metal, man. That's not a problem. What about you? Dish out some justice at evening roll call. I'm not going to do that because I just got the heat off of me and I'm excited to see what our job looks like the next day. No, stop trying to start shit at the evening roll call, guys. Jesse and Ronald. So I'm not being shaken down. I'm going to just take this opportunity to hide some stuff in my desk. I'm not sure if any of this is contraband. But anyway, we'll just get ready to sleep for the next day. And that'll probably do it for my Let's Look at it of the Escapists. It's got a lot of potential. And it's not like it's got a lot of potential, but it's like not even close right now. There are games like that on early access that you can see what they're going for, but they're not there yet. The Escapist is very playable. It's just missing a little bit of that edge to make it super fun to play in between the moments that are really the main driving factor. But it's interesting, and at 10 bucks, I think it's a reasonably good pickup if you find yourself interested by what you've seen over the course of this video. Of course, Mathis has a series on the game. If you want to see some more in-depth and high-level gameplay, I would encourage you to do so. But for now, thanks for watching. There will be a link in the video description to pick up the game on Steam if you're interested. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And subscribe if you want to see more first impressions in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.